So what you see is a simulation of critical infrastructures of the city, whereas you can, as we have brought in all buildings, but also roads, energy networks, telecom sectors, etc. And you can see the real effect of a crisis, in this case a flooding, happening to the city. And what's more relevant, it helps you to show the cascading effects of it. So if it floods, electricity will fail, telecom will fail, people get into stress, and that you have to handle as a city. And this is a great tool to create the insights, but also allows you to mitigate, because you can run this kind of simulations over and over again. After this simulation and the mitigation, you can also use this as a training tool, because you really have the power to show people what happens, both like this, but also in VR, so you can put yourself into the stress. This is a scenario where it had a flooding, but we also are working on climate change, energy transition, but also on social security. So it brings in the data in the platform, calculates individually, and registers the cascading effect on one to each other. So, well, I think this is long enough. Hopefully you've been able to see this. So what I heard over the many presentations is that the world is getting very complex. It's interconnected, it's unsafe, the climate is changing, and we don't know what's happening and how to deal with it. So those interdependencies need to be shown, and shown into a way where it doesn't harm a city or an environment. We learned that it's very complex of many stakeholders into a city to mitigate these kind of situations and to work on solving them or preventing them. So again, we put a lot of layers on top of each other. We create a disturbance, and based on that, you'll see what happens to the city. Clear as easy. So hopefully my pitch is about finding partners, because we're solely a software platform sold as a SaaS. And I really would like to find people who help me implementing these kind of products, or bringing the knowledge that is needed to do this. Because you can, as you can imagine, this could also be a wildfire, or it could also be a hurricane threat. We work with a lot of partnerships and customers. Amongst those are The Hague security organizations, defense, but also insurance companies. I'd like to welcome Ben Kockler. Ben Kockler is a professor of applied sciences at the Avans University in Den Bosch. And I would like to talk with him about why it's so relevant to also involve young people, students, in getting these changes and technology into grip. So Ben, could you elaborate a bit more on how you deal as a university in these kind of new technologies, whereas your students should help?
Happy to do so, and you're giving me the microphone, which is always a tricky thing to do. Good afternoon. I'm representing a University of Applied Sciences. It's based in the cities of Breda and Den Bosch. And there's about 20 of these universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands. We are training thousands of young people per year who become the makers of these new smart cities as team leaders or project leaders. But so far, being 20, 21, 22 years old, they are not prepared how to properly use these new technologies. So that's one of the reasons why I like to cooperate with Simci and other partners around. The main reason is that we need to catch the interest, the emotional side, not only the knowledge and the cognitive side, but emotionally they need to be prepared as of 20 years old, how to handle these complexities that are arising in the upcoming years, and how to use new technologies to do that. Next to that, we of course cooperate with safety regions, fire brigades, police force, also in terms of training, using the same kind of cases. And the nice thing is there that, talking about cooperation, we are one of the partners who assist Simci in developing scenarios in the upcoming years, and the other way around. We learn a lot from them, how they deal with real data, because that's the crucial thing. You need to train people with real data. All these young people are used, of course, to work with gaming. That's nothing new. But we need to connect them to real data, scenarios and options where they can choose from. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm quite interested and calling out to all of you who wants to cooperate, join us.
Thank you, Ben. Are there maybe from the audience people who find interest in getting connected to the Avans Hogeschool and us? Because we would like to develop, let's say, column pilots of proof of concepts in which we allow students to learn and to get this new technology to them, but also to get you acquainted to these kind of new technologies that can help you getting insight in a very complex world. Thank you very much.